Hey guys, today I've got a special treat for you. Allow me to introduce the 5 Generations Challenge. Before we get into the battles, let me explain how it works. I will face one opponent using all 5 of my generation teams. They're only allowed to use one team, however, they can swap in one Pokemon between each battle. If someone manages to sweep through all 5 of my generational teams, they'll face my monocolor orange team. And because this is such a rigorous challenge, anyone who manages to get a majority of wins against me, at least 3, they'll be able to choose any one of my Pokemon from any of my teams as a prize. If they manage to win against all of my teams, then they get to choose any 2 of my Pokemon as a prize. And if they manage to beat all 5 of my teams, and my monocolor orange team, then they get 3 Pokemon as their prize. So, without further ado, let's get into the battles. So my first challenger is NMANDUDE5 on YouTube. He's going to start off with his kitty cat, his Purloin, as I send out my Hyla, my Onix. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock first turn, and he's actually going to go for Toxic. I find that very interesting. I'm guessing this is some kind of support set. Not wanting to deal with anything else it has, I'm just going to go for Earthquake, try and take it out. However, it also has Shadow Ball. Very interesting. He's going to go for Protect again, as I'm going to try and take it out with another Earthquake, and it doesn't. Thanks, Protect is protected. He tries to go for the double Protect, but it doesn't work. And I'm free to KO with another Earthquake. So down it goes, and he's going to send out his Zigzagoon. I had no idea what I was in for when I saw this thing. I go for an Earthquake to try and take it out. It doesn't take it out, and he goes for Seed Bomb. And it does. It obviously is going to take me out. And I'm just going to go for Hidden Power with my Houdini. So down it goes, and I'm just thinking, okay, this thing's kind of a pushover. Later on, that's not going to be my same opinion. He's going to send out his Dino, and I'm just going to go for another Hidden Power fighting, and it was easily taken down. Out's going to come his Monkey, his Chimchar, and not wanting to take a Fake Out, I'm just going to pull back and go into my True Jelly. So he goes for Fake Out like I thought. It does a little bit of damage, and he's going to switch into his own Tentacool. And I'm just going to go for Scald, and it's not going to do a lot, considering Tentacools are special balls. Next turn, we both exchange knockoffs to get off each other's Eviolite. So now I'm going to switch into my Croissant, my Paris, as he goes for another Scald, and I'm going to absorb it with Dry Skin. He's going to go for Rapid Spin to get rid of my rocks, and I'm just going to go for a Spore. So now I don't really have anything to fear from this guy. I thought he was going to switch out, so went for the Stun Spore. And I'm going to switch into my Houdini, my Abra. And he actually wakes up now and goes for Toxic Spikes, which I don't know why he'd go for Toxic Spikes. He sees I've got Tentacool. So I'm going to go for Psychic to take it out, and down it goes. He's going to send out his Monkey again, his Chimchar, and no, I forgot last time that I had Protect, so now I'm just going to go for Protect and KO with Psychic. However, it doesn't KO. This is one bulky Chimchar. Reminds me of mine. He goes for Flame Charge, and it gets me down pretty low. And now he's going to be able to KO next turn with a Fire Punch. So down goes Houdini, and I'm going to have to switch out into my True Jelly. So he's going to go for Fire Punch, I'm guessing trying to get the burn, which he does. And I'm going to KO it with a Scald. So next turn, he's going to send out his You Lose, his Aeron, and I'm just going to go for another Scald. And it's super effective. It almost takes him out, and he survives thanks to his Sturdy. He goes for Rock Polish, and I'm just thinking, oh no, this thing's gonna try and sweep me. And surprisingly, it doesn't have Earthquake, which I find really weird. He goes for Rock Tomb, lowers my speed, and I'm free to KO with a Scald. And that's the end of the first battle. Okay, so now I'm in with the second battle with my second generation team, and the only Pokemon he switched out is his Dino for his Snivy. So let's get to this second battle. I'm going to lead off with my Pineco, my Stroblus, as he leads off with his Kitty Cat again. Now, since this is a support set, I'm worried about Taunt. However, he goes for Attract. I'm wondering, why would you use Attract? It has no competitive use, and it just has no competitive use. I'm able to set up my Stealth Rocks, and not wanting to try and take any Attract hacks, I switch out into my Houndour, expecting the Shadow Ball. So, Houndour takes a hit very well, and I'm going to go for Substitute, as he goes for Protect. Next turn, just going to Fire Blast it to KO. So down it goes, and he's going to send out his Jellies next. Not wanting to waste the substitute, I'm just going to go for a Dark Pulse, knowing it's not going to do that much. And he's going to break my sub with a Scald. So, next turn, I'm definitely going to switch out. So, I'm going to go into my Black Mage, my Mischievous, as he goes for another Scald. And thankfully, he doesn't get the burn. And I'm just going to go for Hidden Power. It's Hidden Power Ground, so it should do a lot. It does almost nothing. He goes for Knock Off and knocks off my Eviolite. And I'm just going to go for Nasty Plot, because I got to get some damage off on this thing. So he goes for another Scald, and this time he does get the burn. But thankfully, I'm going to be able to KO with a Hidden Power Ground. So down it goes, and next he's going to send out his monkey, his Chimchar. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball, try and knock it out. It really should have gone for Hidden Power Ground. He goes for Flame Charge to KO and get me down to low health, and get up his speed. And he's going to go for Fire Punch. And since he's boosting speed, I figure I can boost speed as well and just go to my Flashlight and go for an Agility. So next turn I'm going to go for Thunderbolt, KO, and down it goes. Next he's going to send out his Snivy, and I'm going to go for Ice Beam expecting it to KO. However, it doesn't. He's got like 1 HP left. And he goes for Energy Ball, and I survived too. So, awesome thing there. I KO next turn with another Ice Beam, and down it goes. He sends out his Zigzagoon, and I'm going to go for Thunderbolt. And it doesn't KO, and here's that Seed Bomb again, and it knocks out my Flashlight. So I'm going to go into my Snappy Feet, my Totodile, and as he goes for Seed Bomb, I survive. Amazing. And I'm able to KO with a Superpower. So down it goes, and I don't have to worry about that Ziggs anymore. So down goes my Totodile too, so it's a double down situation. He sends out his You Lose as I send out my Balto. Now here I'm expecting my Balto to get KO'd, so I just go for Flame Charge to break it sturdy. However, he goes for the Rock Tomb and it misses. Yes! And I'm free to KO with a Fire Blast next turn and win the second battle. So down it goes, I win the second match. Okay, so into the third match now. This is my third generation team, and he has swapped out his Purloin for his Larvesta. So I'm kind of worried about Larvesta, considering they tend to be a little slow, but it should be fine against my Trick Room team. So he's going to lead off with his Larvesta, his Bedbug, and I'm going to lead off with my Dreidel. Now this first attack sets the tone for this entire battle. He goes for a U-turn and gets a crit. Down goes my first Trick Roomer. I didn't get to Rapid Spin, I didn't get to set up my Stealth Rocks, I didn't get to set up Trick Room, nothing. He goes into a Snivy as I go into my Walter. So he goes for Energy Ball, it's going to do about half, and he gets a special defense drop. So I'm free to go for Trick Room and then Destiny Bond to take it down with me. And he takes the bait, he goes for another Energy Ball to take me out, and thanks to that special defense drop, it is going to take me out, with the help of a little crit. So down it goes with me, and I'm going to send out my Dynamite and start setting up on this thing. So he switches into his Munket and goes for a Fake Out, and it's going to do nothing, but it is going to keep me from attacking. Next I'm going to go into my Little Reaper, considering the Trick Room is going to end soon, and I figured out his Monkey has Iron Fist, and it's not released yet, but I don't really care. He gets me down to my stash, and he gets a burn, which takes me out, so now I have no more Trick Roomers left. Man, that was a bad move on my part. Next turn, I'm going to send out my Molluska and go for Surf. The Twisted Dimensions return to normal, and I am pretty much screwed. He sends out a Zigzagoon, and here's that Seed Bomb again. It almost KOs, almost. So I'm free to KO back with a Surf. Thank goodness I invested a bit in my defense. He sends out his Larvesta and goes for another U-turn, which is going to take out my Molluska. And now it's a blind switch here. He goes into his Jellies as I go into my Dynamite. And he's going to go for a Knockoff, which is going to knock off my Life Orb. Unfortunate. And I'm going to go for Hone Claws so I can actually hit with a Dragon Rush. So here comes Scald, praying for the burn. I don't get the burn. And I don't. Thank God. I go for Dragon Rush, and it's going to be a one-hit KO. He sends out his Bedbug again, and here I misplay. I actually meant to go for Dragon Rush, but I accidentally clicked Hone Claws, but, you know, my bad. And he goes for U-turn, which is going to KO. So back it goes, and he's going to send out his You Lose, his Aeron. As I go into my Dorless, my Trapinch, which is my last Pokemon. He goes for Earthquake. Interesting thing, after our first two battles, I asked why he wasn't running Earthquake. He said he didn't actually have the TM. And I said, you know what, trade it to me, I'll teach it Earthquake, and while I'm at it, I'll teach it Rock Slide. So I did, so now it has it, and I'm regretting it now. I try and go for Quick Attack, try and take it out, but I don't, thanks to that freaking resistance. Even though I've got Monstrous Attack, it's not going to do anything, and I lose this third match. Okay, going into the fourth match, this is my 4th generation team, and he's going to swap out his Larvesta for his Lillipup. So, little surprise there. I'm looking forward to seeing what this Lillipup's got, and we can go into the battle now. I'm going to lead off with my Georgina, my Chimchar, as he leads off with his Jellies, his Tentacool. Seeing this bad matchup, I'm actually going to swap out my Super Kami Guru. However, he doesn't go for Scald, he goes for Toxic Spikes, which is very unfortunate for me. I'm just going to go for Earth Power, and since I don't have my Storm Drain boost, it's going to do nothing. And he knocks off my Choice Scarf. Again, just so unfortunate. I go for another Earth Power as he switches into his Snivy, and it's going to do nothing. I'm going to pull back and go into my Grow Up Ball, hoping I can do something against it. He goes for Energy Ball, and it's going to do nothing thanks to me being a specially defensive wall. He pulls back and goes into his Chimchar, as I just go for the Stun Spore. And thank goodness he switched into Chimchar. That was perfect. Could not have worked better for me. I go into my Hot-Headed, knowing he's going to use Fake Out, and I'm going to proceed to try and KO this thing. I go for Shadow Ball, but I forget he's got Eviolite, so now I can't do anything. He goes for Flame Charge, and he gets a crit here, and that just completely screws me over. I go for another Shadow Ball, hoping the special defense drop will be enough, but it's not. He goes for Fire Punch, and down goes my Hot-Headed. Next, I'm going to send out my Padawan, which really does work in this match. I'm going to have it go for Earthquake, knock out Monkey, and that's the end of that. He's going to send out his Uluz again, his Aeron, and I'm going to go for High Jump Kick. Gets him down to his Sturdy, no questions, as he goes for Earthquake, and I take the Earthquake quite well. He's going to set next, I'm going to go for Bullet Punch just to knock it out, and down it goes. Next turn, he sends out his Snivy, and I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. And it KOs, no problem. So down go, and Padawan is taking care of 3 of my opponent's Pokemon now, and it's doing lots of good work. His Ziggs goes for Extreme Speed, and stab Extreme Speed. No way I'm gonna be able to survive that. By the way, turns out this thing is banded. So banded, stab, Extreme Speed. I'm lucky that my Munchlax takes it so well. So he keeps going for the Extreme Speed, as I'm going for the return to try and KO. Down it goes, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. He sends out his Rover, his Lillipup, and I'm expecting it to KO with something. However, it's a special Lillipup. Really weird. I go for the return and knock it out as he tries to KO with a Thunderbolt, but it just doesn't work out for him. He goes into his Tentacool and goes for the Scald, and I manage to survive with just a little bit. I go for the Earthquake and KO, and thanks to a critical hit. I don't think it mattered though, and that's the end of that battle. So, on to the 5th generation battle. I'm using my 5th gen team, and he swapped out his Lillipup back for his Larvesta. So I'm looking forward to seeing this last match and seeing how he does. So let's get to it. I'm going to lead off with my my Stabby, and he's going to lead off with his Uluz, his Aeron. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock first turn, as he goes for the Rock Slide. I don't think he realized that it's part Steel, so I guess it's okay. He goes for Earthquake next turn, which is, I'm going to be left with 1 HP, which is perfect. I go for another Iron Head and KO. So he's going to send out his Monkey, his Chimchar, and I'm expecting this to KO. He goes for Fake Out, and down goes my Stabby. I thought I might as well just leave it in for fodder. I'm going to send in my Fake Jelly, as he pulls back and goes into his Jellies. And I'm going to go for the Surf. It's going to do nothing considering he resists it, and it's specially defensive wall. Gonna pull back, go into my Squirt. He goes for knockoff, and it's gonna knock off my Squirt's Oranberry, which really sucks. And he's gonna send out his Zigzagoon. This turn I actually went for the Shell Smash. I'm expecting to be able to KO this Zigzagoon, but once again, I don't know. I don't want to take any kind of Seed Bomb, so just to be safe, I pull back and go into my Rosie. As I expect, he goes for Seed Bomb, and he actually gets a crit here, which does a lot. And he's going to pull back and go into his Monkey, his Chimchar, as I go for the Flame Charge, but it misses. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Rosie, but you suck. Your hustle sucks. Once that Black White 2 comes out, you're out of here. So here he's going to go for Fake Out, which isn't going to work against my Mini-Zord. He gets a critical hit on the Flame Charge, and I'm free to go for a Substitute. And he goes for Fire Punch. It's going to break my sub, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for Earthquake, which really, I just should have gone for Earthquake. Down goes his monkey, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. He's gonna send out his Bedbug, and surprisingly, I outspeed. I'm guessing it has like 10 speed or something, and I can go for an Earthquake to KO. Here comes Zigzagoon, and I'm expecting the Seed Bomb, so I'm just gonna go for the Focus Punch, because that's the only way I'm gonna do any kind of damage, even if he misses. So, I'm going to send out Rosie again, just to try and KO again, and he sends out his Tentacle, as I go for the Superpower. Tentacle is going to resist it, and with Eviolite, it's not going to do that much, even with Hustle. I'm glad I actually hit, though. Here, I'm going to pull back and go into my Shroomy, what is this thing called again? Fungus, there we go. He's going to go for Scald, and thankfully he doesn't get the burn, as I go for Spore. Now here, I completely forgot about Tentacle's ability, Liquid Ooze, and I foolishly go for the Giga Drain. So, it does a bit of damage, but I lose some HP. So, next turn, he's gonna wake up, go for Scald, and at this point, I'm just like, screw it, I'm gonna KO it anyway. He's gonna send out his Snivy, and he's gonna go for Endeavor. I'm wondering why he has it, or not Endeavor, Facade. Why would you have Facade? And I'm just going to keep going for Hidden Powers to KO. So down it goes, and that's such an odd set. He's going to send out his Ziggs, which I think is his last Pokemon, and go for Seed Bomb. Even though it's not very effective, it's going to be the best move to hit most of the rest of my team. And I'm going to send out my Rosie. It's like, okay, Rosie, finish what you started. So he goes for Seed Bomb. I'm going to go for Superpower. It hits, and it KOs. So down goes Zigzagoon, and that's the end of the challenge. I hope you all enjoyed the premiere of my 5 Generations challenge. Quick word before we end this video. Please do not ask me if you can take the 5 Generations challenge. I will let you guys know when you can, okay? So please don't ask. That's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe, and challenge.